If you are at the lowest point in your life, keep watching. Think of your favorite fictional or your favorite anime character. Think of Monkey D. Luffy, Asta from Black Clover, Ichigo from Bleach. Before their training arc, what happened? They most likely suffered a great loss. For example, Monkey D. Luffy, just before his time skip, he lost his brother Ace. And that felt like the lowest point in his life. It threw him into such a great depression. But what happened afterwards is just amazing. He went on his 2 year training, learning hockey, doing whatever he can to become stronger, and then came out of the 2 years stronger than he ever was. If you're at the lowest point in your life, that just means that you need to enter your training arc to become better. So now you might be wondering, Zen, how do I enter my training arc? Training is not only going to the gym, okay? You need to train your mind as well. So a first step that I think will benefit most of you, especially if you're going through like such a depressive state, is delete social media. Okay, you want to delete social media. There's so much toxic. There's so much things on social media from Instagram, TikTok. Every time you scroll, there's just so much things that are influencing you and your way of thinking. You start to believe some things are right, some things are wrong. You start to believe in the wrong things. You start being influenced by the wrong things. And you become to this point where everything on social media influences your thinking, influences your mood. And you don't want that to happen, okay? You want to be in control of your own thoughts, your own feelings. You want to be in control. You need to delete social media, so TikTok, Instagram mostly. um you need to delete those two for delete for a week. Okay, delete social media for a week. You can use it once a week. On Sunday, set a time for maybe an hour. You can hop on social media just to catch up with friends or whatever, but try to stay out of it for a week. Second step is isolation in a sense. So not only you're going to be isolating yourself from social media, but you can kind of people in general. So now I firmly believe that your friends like help you a lot. My friends help me a lot to become the person I am. So you're not cutting anyone off, okay? By no means. You are actually just going on a little time skip on yourself. For yourself, I mean. You're gonna be just not going out as much. Like you don't have to completely not hang out with them, but like if you're hanging out with friends, whatever, like twice a week, try to cut it down to just once a week. Just let people see less of you. Just not for long, just for a little while, for a month or two. Just create that what you call it, kind of like a ghost mode type of situation. Leave them wondering where you are, leave them kind of missing you. And you want to come back a better person, not only for yourself but for the people you care about as well. So that isolation is really good, your time skip. And so we move on to the third step, which is most important. And my favorite step is working out. So of course, working out, I speak about it so much on my channel. My channel, I'm a fitness personal trainer. My channel is based on fitness, but the first thing you want to do is find the sorry, the first thing you want to do is find a good routine. So what I recommend is doing weight training paired with some cardio, especially if you have a high body fat percentage. You want to work on your building muscle while losing fat as well. And if you on the skinnier side, maybe you want to maybe bulk up a bit or main gain. So eat and while building muscle, you can still do cardio. Like cardio is amazing. You not for my what I recommend for people is to not just be someone who weight loves being as strong as everyone else, but having such a weak stamina, such a low VO2 max, where you can't run like 10 meters without, so cardio is important. Weight training is important. Also some stretching as well. You want to be flexible. You want to be like a rubber, like Luffy. Anyway, so number 4 in your training arc, diet. Pair it in with your training, you're gonna have a good diet. So I just mentioned it a bit, but if you have a high fat percentage, you want to lose fat, you want to be in a calorie deficit while eating whole foods. If you're on the skinnier side, you want to kind of lean bulk, being in a calorie surplus, but eating healthy foods, not eating disgusting junk food all the time. Yeah, so diet. Amazing. Diet is like 80% of your work. Alright, working out is like the other 20%. So anyway, step number MI5, you wanna journal. Journal, write down whatever you can, whether it's 1 minute, 10 minutes. Just sit with a book, your thoughts, and a page. Block out distractions and then write. You can write like you can do some shadow work. You can write down what happened today, what made you angry today, what made you happy today. Just kind of take your internalized thoughts and then put it in an external format. Amazing, perfect. Journal, guys. Step number 6, read book. You need to read book. Pick a book. It can be short, it can be 100 pages, it can be 300 pages, anything that seems interesting to you. If there's a topic that you want to know more about, pick up a book relating to the topic. If you want to read Harry Potter, pick up Harry Potter. If you want to read anything, okay, something that kind of challenges your mind a bit, something that you can learn from, something that can give you more knowledge, something that's gonna make you more articulate, whatever. As long as you enjoy it, there's no wrong answer for reading a book. Number 7, you want to pick a hobby, whether it's something that you've done in the past, something that you fell out of love with, something new you want to try. You want to pick a hobby and work on it. You want to kind of make it like a little project where you want to achieve something in this hobby. Playing guitar, you want to learn to play 3 different chords, you want to play this song, whatever. Just pick a hobby that's gonna keep you away from your phone, away from distractions. Something that's gonna kind of engage your mind a bit, maybe playing chess. Just something that's keeping you busy, something that makes you excited to do. You think about, so we spend so much time on our phone, and that is nerfing us like way too much. And so as I mentioned, these 7 steps are like ways for us to kind of unnerve ourselves and become like the anime character we want to be, going on an anime training arc. And it's just, we are basically in a cage, and these phones are like the lock to this cage. And once we remove that, we kind of free ourselves a little bit, free our way of thinking, especially because we are so influenced by social media, by everything on internet. We sometimes our own thoughts isn't our own. It's someone else's thought, something you heard here, and then it's just implanted. And it's not a wrong thing to have thoughts implanted. If it's something you get from reading a book written by a great philosopher or a great author, sure, that's fine. But if you're just gonna listen on social media to every Tom, Dick, and Harry yapping away, it's not good. So like, is the interesting thing I want to talk about. I've spoken about my one of my favorite YouTubers, S Ruthless. I think I'm pronouncing that right. But he made a video about a couple weeks ago about why being not being on your phone is punk. Punk in the sense that you are standing up to authority. You're not conforming to the standards of everyone. It's conforming to the standards of society. not letting social media control your time. And he did this analogy of one of the Simpsons episodes where what's this guy, the clown, I can't remember what's his name, but she knows, oh, Krusty, that's his name, Krusty the clown. Instead of being a child's clown, at some point I think he went to like depression, whatever, and started becoming like this comedian, but like a cynical comedian. That's what he said in his own words. Um, and one of the jokes he made was like he pulled out $1 and he started burning it, and he's like, "This is another dollar that the government won't have." And that the way he related that to us using our phones was just amazing. Like, you should check out this video. But in the sense, you're thinking of that dollar as our time, and the government is as the government takes the dollar, our phones are taking our time, and we want to stand up to that. We don't want anyone to control us. We don't want anyone to control our money, and we don't want anyone to control our time. So by getting off social media, getting off your phone, you are standing up to authority by not letting them take 1 minute of your life, not letting them take 1 hour of your life. You just being yourself. You're being punk. You're being standing up against authority, just like your favorite enemy character, just like Luffy standing up to the world government. That's what not being on your phone is. You are basically Luffy. Delete social media. Obviously, YouTube. YouTube is a useful tool, I believe. But obviously, you need to go in the right direction, the right what do you say? Look, watching the right videos. Okay, not plain watching on YouTube. But yeah. Anyways, thank you for listening to my TED talk today. I hope this helped you, especially if you, like I said, you're feeling low in life. I think social media is just the one thing that's gonna help you a lot mentally. And then doing all the other stuff, being disciplined with your training, your diet, reading, your hobbies, that's gonna build so much discipline, so much more character for you. You're gonna be unstoppable. You're going to be Luffy. You're gonna be Yuji Itadori. You're gonna be Deku, man. Let's go. This is Zen. I'll see you in the next one, guys.